Renji Abadai is not a fraud. What people don't realize is the fact that he had a false Bankai means that he is indeed like that. For years now, some of our Bleach brothers and sisters have used one revelation to downplay Renji Abadai. The revelation that the Bankai he had been using since the Soul Society arc wasn't even his true Bankai. To many fans, this proved Renji was a fraud. And also, when you wanted him to win a fight, he'd lose. But I think the story is telling us the exact opposite. I think Zabimaru gave Renji a false Bankai for the same reason Zangetsu limited Ichigo's power. Not because Renji was weak, but because Zabimaru was trying to protect him. Renji is from District 78, South Rukangai Inzuzuri. Renji, alongside Fujimaru, Kosabaru, Mameji, and Rukia, were all children surviving under extreme poverty. Renji noticed Rukia possessed spiritual power similar to his own. He was aware they were different from the other children around them. After losing nearly everyone they cared about, Rukia and Renji decided to become Shinigami to escape poverty and gain a future. When we first meet Renji, he's obsessed with becoming stronger, but his desire for strength doesn't come from pride. It comes from helplessness. Renji grew up with Rukia in the Rukangai. He knows what it's like to be powerless. And after Rukia is adopted into the Kuchiki family, Renji feels the gap between himself and the people around him becoming larger and larger. Then comes the Soul Society arc. The moment that changes everything. Rukia is going to be executed, and Renji realizes he still isn't strong enough to save the person he cares about most. After losing to Ichigo, Renji says to Zabimaru that Ichigo and Zangetsu are no longer their enemy. After that, Renji then goes on to train desperately to obtain Bankai. Personally, I've always liked this little part when Renji tells Ichigo and Yoruichi that Rukia's execution date was changed to the following day. This small, but yet so greatly important part flies over a lot of fans' heads without them even realizing. Before Renji arrives to Yoruichi's training grounds, he is already knowledgeable upon the fact that Rukia is to be executed the following day. So while he's on his way to Ichigo and Yoruichi's location, Renji had already come to the conclusion that he must do whatever it takes by any means necessary to obtain Bankai this very same day before Rukia's execution date, which is the following day. Much like Renji, Ichigo, upon hearing this information, is willing to do whatever it takes to obtain Bankai this very same day as well. I look at this scene as a small embodiment of Ichigo's poem about being granted enough strength to shatter fate. Somehow, Renji succeeds, but then something strange happens. Byakuya tells Renji that he isn't ready to properly wield Bankai. At first, this sounds like arrogance, but years later, we discover something shocking. Renji never received Zabimaru's true name. The spirit deliberately withheld it, meaning the Bankai Renji was using wasn't complete. So the big question is, why would Zabimaru do this? And this is where things get interesting because we've seen something similar before. Throughout the story, Zangetsu was limiting Ichigo's power. Not because he hated Ichigo, not because he wanted him to fail, but because he wanted to protect him. So what if Zabimaru was doing something similar? What if Renji's soul was screaming for enough power to save Rukia? And Zabimaru answered that cry, not by giving him everything, but by giving him enough strength to challenge fate, enough strength to stand and fight, and enough strength to continue growing. Look at Renji throughout the series. Every arc makes him more mature. Every defeat teaches him something. Every battle pushes him further. Arrancar arc, Hueco Mundo, Fate Card Town, and Fullbring. By the time we reach the 1,000-year blower arc, Renji is no longer the same person. He's no longer chasing strength for validation. He's chasing strength to protect others. When Ichibei reveals the truth, many fans interpret it as humiliation. I see it as confirmation. Confirmation that Renji's journey wasn't finished. And when Zabimaru finally reveals its true name, So'o Zabimaru, it's not a reward for raw power. It's recognition. The spirit finally acknowledges Renji as someone ready to wield its full power. So no, Renji was never a fraud. The false Bankai wasn't proof that Renji was weak. It was proof that Zabimaru understood something Renji didn't. Sometimes, true strength isn't about getting all the power you want. It's about earning the power you're ready for. And that's exactly what Renji Abarai spent the entire series doing. With Bleach 1000-Year Blow Arc getting ready to release its first 3 episodes of Core 4 in theaters, I'm really excited to see if we're going to get any new Renji content like we got in Core 3. I know what the Hell Arc is going to be about. I have a video dropping in a few days about that. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for sticking around for the whole video.